Hey everyone! Today I'm gonna depot my Marc Jacobs Accomplice concealers. Vueset Tahiti is my current favorite size of palettes because it has the most wells. It has 24. Now the Marc Jacobs concealer sticks only come in 17 shades. Therefore, I have another 7 wells to fill. And I don't like leaving empty wells. I like to open them all at the same time. That way the expiration date's all the same on everything. So I'm doing this right now. I'm gonna start with, I've labeled it already. So I'm gonna do the Marc Jacobs Accomplice concealers here. Accomplice. And then I'm gonna do the covert sticks. These are their correctors. I'll show you one. And then the other one. And for the rest of the wells, I'm gonna use cover effects. So I'll show you the lavender one. Looks like this. There's green, yellow, peach, orange, etc. I've labeled all the wells in the front, and what I used is my Brother P-Touch DT600. I prefer this because it, what do you call that? It prints on labels sized 6 millimeters up to 24 millimeters. I love that. There are other brands, there are other machines, there are other Brother P-Touch labelers, but no one has that range of size printability. That's why I prefer that one. Also, I like the ones where you can use an adapter instead of battery, because you know I don't want to buy batteries all the time. Also, that has a capability to be battery operated, but it takes about 6 AA batteries if I'm not mistaken. So I'd rather plug it when I can. What else do I need to know? Oh, I choose to label first because even if this all fell apart, I can still have this guide as to what goes where and the order I want for sure. So right now I've labeled it from light to deep and then the correctors. Excuse me. So I've sanitized everything. Let's get to work. Sorry if my chair is squeaky. It's not really meant to be a work chair, but it's too pretty, so I couldn't say no. So the first thing I do is, after sanitizing your tools and your hands, you get the shade you need. So this is Fair 10. And just get it to about the size of that. And I'm pretty sure this is the actual size. How do I know? I've done this before. So just cut it straight. And then stick it in the palette. Make sure it says Fair 10. Then just stick it in there and then press it down. Now, there's excess stuff because it's a tad wider than the well. So I'll just get a Q-tip and clean it that way. I can cut it up and mush it in there, but it just takes more work and it's actually harder to clean. Doing this only gets the top of the wells dirty. It doesn't go on the other side. It's not like nothing's jumping ship. So basically, you wipe while you're rolling it, but nothing touches the top, nothing touches the lid. So make sure it's pressed down all the way to the bottom. That way, nothing will be on this lid later, okay? So I like to clean before I proceed to another color. That way, when I do have something to clean, no two colors are getting mixed and potentially getting on another well. So that's just how I prefer to work. Make sure you have paper towels all the time. And then you can clean this off. Now, this is the thing. Let me get this cord out of the way. This is the thing. You have excess product here. What do you do with it? You can put it in another palette. What I would do is put it in another Vueset. And this will be a smaller kit. So it'll be a micro kit. Another thing is this. Do I have to do this? No. But the thing is, what am I to do with this? If I keep it, it'll expire at the same time as this. So might as well use this, depot this, give it away, gift it, put it in another kit, or sell it. That's just, the goal is to have a smaller kit. I don't need to keep all of this pretty packaging. I'm not attached to it. So what I'll do, this I don't even have to label this anymore because I can just copy it later. Then I can just deposit these into here. That way. Okay? Super easy. As in literally scrape and then clean. That's just how I would do it. But we're not doing that now. This is just for demonstration purposes. I'm gonna take care of that later, because I don't want this to be a super long video. But I also wanted to see the range of the Marc Jacobs concealer while we're doing this. These are actually very good. They're very creamy. They'll act like foundation if you need them to. I actually like it. Unfortunately, I think the shade range is weak. I don't know if these are all the shades, I'm sorry. If these are all the shades that were done, but this is the fairest one. And to me, it seems like other brands will have this at like number 5. They're fairest. I don't know, but that's just me. However, I like the deeper shades. I have to say, the deeper shades are good. Let me show you a few. Let me just clean this all. Yeah, it's a tad wider than I want it to be. Like, unlike, let's say, MAC lipsticks, I feel are the I feel like Vueset Tahitis were made for them because they fit exactly. There's barely any cleaning to do after pressing them down. Let's do a Cover FX one and see. These are thinner and I like this. So let me just make sure this is, because I prefer it to be flat. Instead of rounded, I'd rather it was flat. So there you go. It's just better. It doesn't bleed, especially because if you see this well is curved a little here. So I just wanted to avoid having to clean that. And I'll just cut it right where the tube ends. And then stick it in there. See, it's a tad narrower than the Marc Jacobs, like by a hair. But it makes such a difference cleaning wise. I wish there was another option for this, but I used to use lip wands because they don't leave fibers. Because in the past, Q-tips weren't that great. But now Q-tips have been made better and better. See, like I only had to swipe a few times and it's cleaner. Q-tips now are better and better. However, I still honestly would prefer something else. And I haven't figured it out. I don't want to use that much plastic, but at the same time, I don't know what else to do. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Okay, now let's do a covert stick. And then, because this is a different size, obviously. So I just wanted to show you how I'll do this. But as I said, since I've already labeled the wells, I know exactly where this goes. Covert 300 goes in here. So let me just push that up. I'll just slice it and then pack it in there. So this is a crumblier formula, but this is the good thing with getting a palette knife that's narrower than your wells. Don't get something that's super wide and don't get something that's super narrow, because if it's super narrow, you're gonna have to keep packing it in. It just takes too much time. So I'd rather just cut, stick it in there, and then smush it in. So I overdid that. But that's fine. I'll put it in the other one later. The other palette that I'm gonna use to do the what's left underneath. I'll just put that in that Vueset Tahiti. But yeah, that's how it looks. I'm gonna cover that first so it doesn't get dirty, and then put it back. So as I said, I'm gonna time-lapse the rest so you can see. But yeah, having a palette knife that's also a tad pliable, has some bend into it, some bend to it, will allow you to pack it in even tighter. And also, honestly, it looks prettier when it's packed well, instead of just half, you know, like half-assed. Yeah, so there. We've done 3 different products and 2 different types of sticks. But so I'm gonna fill this all with stick colors. Okay, bye.